All right, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We had a little technical difficulty here Monday morning. It's all good. Can you please make sure you're in the live classroom and in Blackboard? Give me those green check marks to make sure that you are with me and that you can hear me. I do want to give an extra couple of minutes here, you guys. It doesn't look like we've got a lot of people here this morning. So I want to make sure that everybody is up and running and has Blackboard and live stream up and going. So hopefully you guys all had a great weekend. That weather, unbelievable weather. And today it's supposed to get up to 27. So hopefully you guys have a chance to get outside and enjoy the weather today as well. I just wanted to start the day, you guys, by thanking you. The Heritage Fair was a great success. All right. So I'm really, really pleased. I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as myself and Mr. Borden and Miss Wood did as well. All right. I think a lot of you pushed through a lot of barriers that you may have had. And I think you may have even surprised yourself with actually how much wealth of knowledge you actually did gain from this project. All right. So I'm glad that you guys were my guinea pigs for this. It's the first time I did a Heritage Fair, and I think it was quite successful. So anyways, let's get started, you guys. We've been looking at basically like almost the big picture of the economy and where Canada sits in world trade, that sort of thing, right? But now what I want to do is kind of look at that historical perspective. How did it become such a worldly thing? How did trading and the economy become so worldly? Why aren't we still in that cottage trading idea where each family makes their own thing and then just trades within their community? How did it expand to a worldly basis? All right. So that's where I want to start. And really, so we need to bring it back all the way back to when Canada really wasn't even a country yet. And that is looking at the Industrial Revolution. That was the beginning of why trade became a worldwide basis. All right, you guys. So here's our learning targets for today. I can examine the main reasons why the Industrial Revolution began, and I can discuss how the Industrial Revolution influenced today's society. All right? Here's our agenda, and I put those learning targets, you guys, into the assignment as well, so you can always reflect back on them. All right? So make sure today, this is what we're going to do. Just as an introduction, we're going to do a quick little four corners activity. We're going to go through a little bit of a PowerPoint with some background knowledge. And then you guys are going to do a little bit of research on your own and then some reflection time as well. So excellent. Ava, what's your favorite video game? So just as Ava's answering that, you guys, yes, Taylor, everything up to and including the Heritage Fair is going to be on your term report card, and it should be done today. All right. We're going to get that out to you guys ASAP as well. Okay. So just be aware of that. All right. So in the introduction, you guys, for today's lesson, to introduce you to the Industrial Revolution, I want to kind of apply it to today as well, though, okay, to make that connection, okay? Oh, there you go, Ava. There you go. Excellent. And that's what we're going to be looking at. So I am going to give you guys a set of questions, okay? Going to give you about 10 seconds to think about your question, think about your answer. Then when you're directed, I want you to go to that corner of the room. And by that, what I mean is you'll see that on the whiteboard, you guys, I've split the whiteboard into A, B, C, and D, right? So whatever your answer is, I want you to type in what answer you are in. Then I want you guys, what I'm going to do is we're going to pair up and you're going to discuss your answer. Why? Why did you choose that one? And then basically be ready to explain your answer to the rest of the group as well. All right. So here we go. I am going to first things first, I'm going to pair you up, and no matter where you put your answer, okay, that's going to be your partner. You don't have to have the same answer. All right. So that's really, really important. All right. So let's go, easy peasy. So let's go Abby and Taylor. You guys are going to partner up for this. Alex and Avery, you guys are going to partner up. And then Anna and Ava. Okay. You guys are going to partner up. So no matter where your answers are, that's who you're going to partner up with. So they could be the same. They could be different. All right. So this is what I want to do. Here is your first question. Which of the following jobs should earn the highest salary? Okay. And think about why. So should it be a military officer, a teacher, a lawyer, or the CEO of Apple? Okay. Which of the following jobs should earn the highest salary? So once you've got your answer, I want you to type your name into the whiteboard, okay, of Blackboard, right, you guys? So I want you to type your name in here, and then I'll give you guys your, and then we're going to share with a partner. All right. So I believe I gave you guys whiteboard access. Okay. So your answer should go into which corner you think should have the highest paying job. That's right, Taylor. It's not who actually makes the most, right? It's who you think should make the most. Okay. But make sure that you you have a specific reason in your mind to share with your partner. Okay. So, Belle, since you just got here, you're going to have to probably pair up with me. All right. So I'll bring up the PowerPoint just once again, you guys. Okay. So who should it be? A, B, C, or D? Who should have the following jobs? I want to give you basically like 30 seconds. And then type your name into the corresponding box on the whiteboard. Perfect. And you don't have to explain why yet. So now what we're going to do is, now that we've got our answers posted, now what I want to take is, let's take 2 minutes with a partner in a private message, explain why you chose that answer. All right. So with the partners that I gave you, now let's discuss in a private message and then be ready to share why. Okay, so go ahead. 2 minutes, you guys. finish up your thoughts. All right. Because I still see the chat going there. But once you're ready, okay, in a brief statement, all right, in the room chat, okay, share what you and your partner thought about. All right. It is very interesting that you guys actually thought, like we have a widespread of diversity of thoughts of which one should be paid more. And I think they're all valid points. Absolutely. So I'll give you guys a few minutes because I see the chat just going crazy. Yeah, so there's different factors that play in, right, into what we value in society. True, Avery. I myself do not give up my life on a daily basis, nor would I choose to. Avery, it depends. It all depends. Because are we talking, because remember teachers and actually police officers as well are on a different scale. So a beginning teacher who's just starting their career is going to make less than a teacher who's at the highest point of their career, right? With more years experience and that sort of thing, right? So it does depend. And it's the same as a police officer. It also depends on location, right? So if we're going to compare police officers versus teachers, you need to make sure that you are comparing them in the same location. So are you talking Kelowna or are you talking up north, right? Because you make a lot more money in both professions if you're up north in an isolated community. So it depends. Does that make sense, Avery? But I would say that it's pretty, on average, I'm thinking it's pretty comparable. I would say it's actually pretty comparable. Again, though, it depends on how many years of service, where you are, especially if you're a police officer, right? Are you a constable? Are you a corporal? It all depends on where you are. Yeah, absolutely, Taylor. Yeah. Good, you guys. So you can see, even though everyone has differing opinions about who should be paid more, but I love it, you guys all justified your answers. And your justifications are actually solid justifications. Yeah. Right? So that's really, really important as well. Good. Okay, so now, here we go. Let's go back to my PowerPoint. Good. Here's your next question. But again, here's your next question, but you're going to do the exact same partners. Okay, so just be aware of that. Which of the following working conditions would you find most difficult? Okay. A boss who never gives you time off and you work long hours. A job that you hate, but you make a lot of money. Or a job that you love, but you make no money. And a job that pays a lot of money, but it's disrespected by society. It's not looked at as a respectable way of making money. All right. So same thing. So let's go back to here. And if you need to move your name, you can actually just click on it and move it to the correct box, you guys. Okay. So you don't actually have to delete your name. Just move it to a different box. Or if it's going to stay in the same box, whatever. All right. So I'll put those up one more time. Okay. And I'll give you guys about 30 seconds to figure out which of the following working conditions would you find the most difficult. Okay. And then we can discuss this one. Yeah, absolutely, Abby. There you go. All right. So let's head back here. Good. So now, I think a lot of you, okay, so now let's skip, for this one, let's just skip the partner talk and straight into the room chat, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Why did you choose, most of you chose A, and it looks like Taylor was who chose C. Okay, so make sure now just explain why. Why did you choose A? I know I would have chosen A as well. Taylor, you're our lone wolf today. Oh, Alex, let me guess. Because you're still making lots of money. That's okay, Taylor. Why would you have chosen D then? True, Anna. So again, it comes down to values, right? What do you value in life? And if it is that spending time with family and friends and where you make those connections, then maybe having time off is really important, right? Absolutely. I still see the chat going, so I don't want to interrupt anyone's thoughts here. Mm-hmm. Interesting, Ava. Never looked at it that way. At even making the connections between the other answers, right? That A is like the worst one. Because at least there's some positives in the other one, right? In the other answers. Yeah. Definitely. I know, thinking of my own scenario, I'm probably in category C, right? I love what I do and that's why I do it. I don't do it for money, obviously. Yeah, for sure, Anna. Absolutely. Good. Definitely just finish off your thoughts. Okay, you guys, I still see a couple of you chatting and I don't want to, Yeah, so again, it comes down to the value, right? Good, Abby, that's where we're going. All right, so definitely, I've got a couple of more questions here though for you guys. So let's just keep going on here. Here's the next one. Which of the following should be the minimum age requirement for work and why? What would be the minimum age requirement? 12? 14, 16, 18, and why? Okay? Very tricky, because what do we consider work? That's another, that leads into that question as well, right? Because think about it, nowadays there's newspaper carriers that even are below age 12, right? They get paid for what they do. Okay, take a few seconds, develop an answer, and then just type it into the room chat, you guys, because I'm looking at the time here and I want to get through these. So then, Anna, if you're stuck, give me the reason why. I'm just going to bring up, everyone can see the prompt, right? 12, 14, 16, 18. I just want to bring this up so that you guys can see. Yeah, I think one of the big things, you guys, that it comes down to, again, is that question that I stated, what is the work, right? Because are we differentiating between, say, babysitting, newspaper carrier, those traditional younger jobs versus, getting your first real job in retail or selling something, that sort of thing, right? There you go, Avery. So why do you say that, Avery? What didn't make you a very good employee? I'm glad that you can look back on this experience, Avery, and actually say that about yourself. And exactly, maybe we need to look at that age. And this touches on Abby's point as well, you guys. Look at that age, and what about the appropriate, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsibility. Do they have the responsibility? Have they grown up enough in their maturity levels to handle the job that they are responsible, right? There you go, right, Avery? So there's a big difference between being 12 and being 15 now, right? 15, 16 years old. You're much more responsible. It's just like, and I think too, if we look at now, at 16, you guys can get a driver's license, right? So that's a pretty good indicator at 16. If you can handle a vehicle, you should be able to handle some responsibility in a job as well. Right? Yeah. Absolutely. But at the same time, exactly, you guys are saying at 12, you do need those baby steps to kind of build up those responsibilities. Okay? Exactly. Good. And bring up that transportation factor as well, Ava. Yeah, that's a good one, right? For sure. All right. So good. So now we've discussed that minimum wage. What about this question? So when you do get a job, whose responsibility is it to provide health care if you get sick? Is it your own responsibility? Is it your employer's responsibility? Is it the government's responsibility? Or is there some other option that we might have that we haven't thought of? So whose responsibility is it to provide health care when you get sick? I think we all know the answer. And again, this is a gray area, you guys, right? In general, whose do you think it is? And again, just type into the room chat, you guys. Yeah, Avery, that's exactly what I was thinking as well, right? It does. You're totally right. Is it a workplace injury? Or do you just have a cold? What? Right? It brings up a whole new set of questions. Okay? Let's just take a look at healthcare in general. Just overarching healthcare. Just even think about your own parents in this scenario. Do their jobs provide them with healthcare or not? Yeah. And you know, you guys, we live in Canada, right? So technically, we have this free healthcare system. So really, when you look at the answer, you know, there's a portion that the government provides. But then, depending on your profession, right? Exactly, Abby. Depending on your profession, it will also help you with healthcare as well. Then we've got provincial organizations like WorkSafe, who also, through employers, will help with healthcare as well, especially if it's a workplace injury, right? Absolutely. Yeah. So again, it depends. It's almost like a little bit of the above, all of the above, right? Absolutely. Good, you guys. So let's go back then, and I think I've got one more question for you. Yeah, I do. How many hours, this is key, how many hours should a student be allowed to work? Okay. And why? And I'm assuming this is per week. Okay. Okay, so Taylor, why do you say that? So 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, absolutely, Abby. So I'll just give you guys a few seconds here to get your thoughts down into the room about how many hours a student should be able to work per week. Exactly. It brings up a whole nother new set of questions, doesn't it, you guys? Exactly, because Avery makes a really good point. Okay? If you are responsible and you can handle it, why can't you work 40 hours a week, right? If your job allows it and you can handle it and you're not falling behind on your work, you know? So just as an example, Avery, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you're one of the ones I know has a job, right? Avery, how many hours do you think you work per week? Yeah, and Belle, you're right. You guys are at that age where you do really need to think about your sleep. Sleep is very, very important to your brain development, to your health overall as well, right? Okay. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely, Avery. I have tons of students in that scenario as well, right? That they need to help support a family, right? And again, I think your point ties in very nicely to where we're heading with our topic of the Industrial Revolution, right? So that's really, really important. Absolutely, you guys. Good. Now, and there you go. And you work about 30. So that's a big responsibility, right? Exactly. And then, exactly, Abby. And then you got to think about the extracurricular. Like I think of you guys and your dance and your riding and all of that stuff, right? That's really important to you guys. Again, it's what you value. Good, you guys. So I'm just going to bring up my PowerPoint again here and get it going on, full screen here. Good, you guys. So really what you guys have come up with is a lot of key factors to the Industrial Revolution, right? When we look at working hours, when we look at working conditions, when we look at healthcare, right? When we look at the type of jobs that we're paid, okay? That all ties into the Industrial Revolution and where we're heading for the next couple of classes anyways, and looking at this topic and how it ties into here in Canada, into today's society. All right? Because this was the building block of where we are today into our economy and how it progressed throughout history. So, like I mentioned earlier, you guys, for thousands of years, it was families, that little cottage, and we call them cottage industries, okay? And they were just pockets of families that did all of their own work. They did their textiles, right? They created their own clothes. They grew their own food, right? They were very, very self-sufficient. But as other objects were made through technology, the Industrial Revolution was that booming time in the middle 1700s. Okay. And it really started in Europe, in England, specifically in London. So that's where we're going. So today I want to focus on the building blocks. What were the factors that contributed to this explosion of technology and industry throughout Britain, England, and expanded throughout Europe and eventually went worldwide? Okay. So in the assignment, ladies and gentlemen, okay, it's called the Industrial Revolution Introduction. Okay. I've given you a couple of different choices. Okay. So what you can do is either use the template of a cube, because it's a building block of the Industrial Revolution. So you can either print this out. If you don't have a printer, if you don't want to do this, that's totally fine. I've given you another option. You can just do a PowerPoint if you want. Or you can even just do Word. This isn't necessarily something for, this is just for information for you guys, for your background knowledge into the Industrial Revolution. Something that you can look back on to reference when you need to, okay? So there's a cube, there's PowerPoint, there's Word, or any other format that you guys want to do to actually present this information. Okay, and keep it with you. So if you are going to use a cube, there's all the instructions there that you guys can see. Okay, each of the sides of the cube or each slide in your PowerPoint, absolutely, Anna, if you guys want to use Prezi, you should have each section of your Prezi then is going to represent a factor or a cause that helped build the Industrial Revolution. Okay? So now what you're going to do is I'm going to give you each title for this each side or slide or whatever. So make sure you jot these down, you guys. You do need these. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to give you some time to actually do a little bit of research to go in and complete that. Okay. Then I'm thinking that this is actually going to take us 2 classes. So then probably next day, what we'll do is we'll come back as a group, share what we've got, maybe in small groups. And then as a class, make sure that we have all the information. No, exactly, Abby. These are going to be short notes. Okay. They're not going to be paragraphs. They're going to be super, super short little notes. All right. So side 1, slide 1, whatever it is, okay? Remember the whole objective of this, you guys, is why did the Industrial Revolution begin in England? Okay, why did it occur there? So we're putting together this building block to showcase that essential question, okay? So on the side 1, okay, you want to have your main title, or on your slide 1, whichever way you're presenting this, you should have your main title, which is the building block of the Industrial Revolution. And make sure you have your name on it somewhere. Okay, that's your side 1. So once you have that down, can you guys give me a green check mark in Blackboard so that I know you're ready to go on to the next title for side 2. So I don't want you to actually start taking notes or anything, ladies and gentlemen. I want this to actually go pretty quick. Okay. So once you've got the main title down, building block of the Industrial Revolution in your name, give me a green check mark so that we can move on to the next side. Okay, perfect. As I see the green check marks starting to come, fantastic. Okay, so I want to make sure you've jotted this down because also I don't think I've included this in the assignment. So you need to make sure you've got this down. All right, perfect. Okay, Alex, do you have it down? Avery, are you good? Give me those green check marks, you guys. All right. So now your side 2, okay, is basically going to be, oh, you betcha, Avery. I just want to make sure, do you have the side down? Do you've got the building block of the Industrial Revolution by Avery? No matter how you're presenting it, just give me a green check mark. All right. Then your side 2 or your next slide or however you're presenting it, okay? Your title needs to be the Industrial Revolution. Okay? And this is going to be your slide that has basic background information. Okay? So for example, began in England, right? Started in London, whatever it is, okay? This is the basic information, okay? And again, let me just clear the check marks here so I know. Once you've got this side down, can you give me a green check mark so I know we can go on to the next side, give you the next title. Perfect. Thanks, you guys. And I don't want to leave anyone behind. Perfect. All right. Alex, how you doing? Who else am I missing here? I can't read that name. Belle, hopefully you can give me a green check mark. All right. Here we go. So side 3 is going to be natural resources. Natural resources, the finding of new natural resources was a major cause of the Industrial Revolution. All right. So again, once we've got side 3 down, give me a green check mark. Yes. So Taylor, natural resources is the title for slide 3. And maybe when I go back to my office, you guys, looking back on this, yeah, this isn't a really big presentation, you guys. This is literally just some background information about the causes of the Industrial Revolution. All right. Yeah. So if the box is too tiny, Alex, feel free to switch over to, if your printing's too big, feel free to switch over to a Word document or a PowerPoint, however you guys want to present it. It's totally up to you. Okay. Yes. Yeah, absolutely, Ava. So there's some natural resources that were really, really key during the expansion of the Industrial Revolution. Okay. And you're going to find out what those natural resources are. Absolutely. Okay. Next is the Agricultural Revolution. Because along with the Industrial Revolution, there was, side by side was an agricultural revolution, and they pushed each other together. Okay. So the Agricultural Revolution actually was one of the major causes that helped the Industrial Revolution take off. Okay. Yeah, we'll go over that, Abby. Yeah, we'll go over that as well. Okay. So I just want to make sure that you guys have the main title of each one, and then we'll go over the specifics of the actual assignment. All right. So clear those check marks. Once you've got your side 4 title, give me those green check marks again, you guys. Becoming a little parched. All right, perfect. Awesome. Give me those green check marks, please. Abby, Ava, are you guys good? Can we move on? Awesome. Good. All right, the next one, you guys, I'll clear, is the stable government and economy. So make sure you get that title in there, please. That's okay, Abby. I figure you're good. So again, once you got the stable government and economy, give me those green check marks so that I can give you your last title. Yes. So Ava, sorry, I just saw your question there, Ava, about the natural resources. Yes. Yeah. What were the natural resources that they were now utilizing, and just some main points about them? Yep. That'll be perfect. Good. Okay. Bria, how you doing? Yes, Anna, absolutely. I was just thinking that when I get back to my office, you guys, I will actually type into the assignment these titles as well to make sure that you guys have them. All right. Yes. So what about the government and economy was so stabilizing? Okay. Once you do a little bit of research, you guys, it will make sense. Okay. That's really, really just, I know right now you're like, what? I don't even know. Once you get into the research, you will pick up on some key points, okay, around what this actually means. The last one, you guys, are some inventions. So what are some of the famous inventions that went on during the Industrial Revolution that helped spark the Industrial Revolution? Okay. And again, that might be tied into the Agricultural Revolution as well. All right. So that's your last slide. Let's just title. And again, I will put those into the assignment when I get back to my office, you guys. All right. Now, what I want to do is, let me see. Your task. Here you go. So you are going to choose your format, which I'm assuming most of you have already done, right? You can use the Cube, PowerPoint, Prezi, however you guys want to present it. Totally up to you. Okay. That's your creative aspect coming out for you guys. Then what I want you to do is actually do a little bit of research on your own. The causes of the Industrial Revolution. I have actually just given you the main points, right? There are some sources that I have put into the assignment for you guys to research, okay? Use that as a starting base, please. If you can find some other sources, fantastic. That would be great, all right? What must you include, okay? So the titles that we just did, and again, I will go back and I'll put those into the assignment for those of you that may have forgotten some of them, okay? What I'd like is at least 2 to 3 additional points that you guys researched per cube or per side. Okay. Feel free to include more. Okay. If you think something's pertinent, feel free to add more. Abby, no. Let's not worry about a bibliography. You guys do not need to worry about citing your sources here. This isn't something that you guys are going to be presenting to others. This isn't formal. This is for your knowledge only. Okay. To give you that background to the Industrial Revolution. We do not need a bibliography. Then what I'd like is, yes, to have at least one image per side or per slide. Okay? So something that represents that, that topic. All right? Now, where we're heading with this, now I'm done. That's all I want to do with you guys today. No, Ava, just points. So you should only have 6 slides in total, right? And then you're going to put the points. You guys are going to put, no, there's 6 sides or slides, however you're going to present it, right? There should be no more slides than that. So for example, when you are looking at inventions, your inventions should have 1 slide, and then you're going to list those inventions on there, okay? There you go. So Bria, the 6th title is inventions. And remember, the first one was just the building blocks for the Industrial Revolution. Okay. So again, you guys, if you missed the titles, that's okay. I'm going to go back and put them into the assignment for you so you can be there to reference. You now have the rest of the class to now go back and do your research. But I wanted to give you guys a little, so next day, you do need to have this done for next day, because what we're going to do is now take that information and we're going to share it with the class. We're going to do a little partner exercise, share it out to the rest of the class, and make sure that everyone is on the same page and that everyone got the same information. All right. That's what I want to do next class. All right. So now you have the rest of the class, you guys, till 11:30 to start doing your research on the key causes of the Industrial Revolution. So go ahead. Give me about 5-10 minutes to get back to my office and back into Blackboard, you guys. And if there's any questions, I can answer it from there. All right. Thanks, guys.